So after arranging for Colin Kaepernick to work out for the Seahawks this week, Seattle postponed the trip when the quarterback declined to stop kneeling during the national anthem next season. Well, today, the team signed quarterback Stephen Morris, according to our Adam Schefter. He's never taken a snap at the NFL level. The undrafted free agent out of Miami has played on 3 practice squads. So back here in the Verizon film room, guys, Pete Carroll, you have to figure, just as a head coach, I feel like he's one of the most open-minded coaches. He's comfortable with change. He's comfortable with making adjustments. But even now, Seattle hasn't been able to make that move. What do you think the plan is here for Cap next? What does he need to do here, Field?
Specific to Seattle, it sounds like the ship has sailed. I mean, signing Stephen Morris yesterday, and someone I spoke with there, I asked just about the backup quarterback, and they said, we got about 15 guys in for visits right now. We're really all in on the draft at the moment. I think if Colin Kaepernick, though, wants to get another NFL job, clearly NFL teams want to hear what his plans are as it pertains to kneeling or not kneeling during the national anthem. And if he says, I plan to kneel, then you have to find a team that's comfortable with that. Because as we know, and Mort has reported this extensively, at the NFL owners' meetings next month, I believe in Atlanta, that's going to be a primary point of conversation, is how to handle the national anthem.
And he's involved in a collusion lawsuit. Yeah. And in fact, Jerry Jones is being deposed yesterday on this. So it's... I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised, and I will even say disappointed that he hasn't landed in a spot. But then again, owners own and make a decision. The issue is whether there's been actual collusion. And that isn't all 32 teams. It can be more, if they're having that conversation, are you specifically mentioning him? As far as Seattle, real quick, by the way, they're changing they're doing some culture changing right there. So I don't know.
Richard Sherman, Michael Bennett.
Those controversial players, those big personalities, they've kind of moved on from them.
Lynch moved on. So, there's some culture change.
Guys, just overall, what do you think Kaepernick's going to need to say to, I hate to say it, but just kind of get over the hump here for a team to go, all right, like we're willing to do this. What do you think?
I think the Seahawks, it sounds like the Seahawks would have done it. They signed someone else. If he said, I'm not going to kneel for the national anthem. To Field's point before, I think that was the answer. I read an article earlier today or yesterday about Eric Reed being asked the same question in Cincinnati with the Bengals. And so I think to Mort's point about ownership and what they're looking for, they have a stance on it. They feel they're going to stand strong to their stance. And for whatever demographic of the NFL fan or whatever fan base you have, they're playing to that. And so for whatever reason, they believe this is going to be the way they're going to run their teams individually or maybe even as an NFL as a whole. And so I think that would be what would have to be said if he wanted a spot.
No need to dance around it. That's what needs to be said. If he said, I'm going to stand for the national anthem and put my hand over my heart like the rest of, or many of my teammates probably will, it might change the conversation within a moment's notice.
Right.
All right, guys, still to come here on NFL Live.